calculating a ratio, clearly there is a specific standard exists. Okay, thanks to Mr. Sam to allow me when I was doing this presentation. See, current ratio can be calculated only by using current assets from current liability. You know, whatever forms part of current asset will be part of current asset from the numerator. Whatever forms part of current liability will be current liability. That you cannot change. There is no innovation you can use on that. That is a standard. There is no change. Only thing is, whether that ratio to be used or not is your interpretation there. There you can use your discretion, no problem. But the standard of calculating a ratio per se will not change. You have to follow it. There is no choice. Okay, let's move on. So now, what does current ratio says? It measures how much of current assets cover current liability to show the strength of the liquidity. Okay, now I'll just tell you how it happens. The imaginary balance sheet. Okay, this is my imaginary balance sheet. Okay, so current ratio is what? 7 by 5. Correct? For example, by depicting the figure. What does it say? It measures how much of the current assets cover current liability to show strength of liquidity. That means what? After paying all my liabilities, I still have some 2 KD or whatever, or 2000 KD extra with me. That is my liquidity. If that is low, then I am in trouble. Because I have to, see, current liability is what? Something payable on demand. Somebody asks me, give me money, you are taking. That is current liability. Maybe there is some agreement exists 1 month or 2 months. It is a credit period or collection period. But generally, any current liability is payable on demand. So what you have to do is, that is why you just see the current ratio, whether the current ratio is more than current liability. There is one more thing which I can link with this is a simple graph I will tell you. Any business, if you see, there is a permanent working capital. Okay, this is what is a permanent working capital investment. This is your value. Okay, this is your time. Okay. Always your business should have a permanent working capital. Okay. Anything require more than permanent working capital, only you should go for a bank finance. If I need more than that, I want to expand my business, okay, then I need to procure more raw materials, then I should go to bank and borrow on an overdraft basis. That is one. What is the second thing which I can use on a temporary basis, which is my creditors. I can squeeze paying my creditors by paying 60 days, 90 days. What happens? I buy stock from him on credit, use it in my business, rotate the money, and then pay him after 90 days. Correct? So this is what is called variable working capital. So, variable working capital, if technically in a business, this 5 should be always part of the variable working capital. That means it's always matched by my current asset. The permanent working capital should stay in the business. Having said that, this permanent working capital ideally should be invested from long-term funds. Because my balance sheet shows how much? 15. But out of 15, 5 is current liability, 7 is current asset. Okay, if you remove 5 from this, still 2 exists. So this 2 is funded from where? My net worth. Correct? My net worth is a long-term fund. So always it is ideal that your permanent working capital is funded by a long-term source of funds. Okay, so that is why I want to explain you this liquidity part of current ratio. So now you understood what is current ratio. Next is your liquid ratio. Liquid ratio is calculated by calculating liquid asset by liquid liability. I am defining you what is liquid asset. Liquid asset is equal to current assets minus stock. Why? Because when ideally in any manufacturing company, stock you will always have an overdraft facility with the bank. You will have the stock as a charge against bank overdraft. So ideally what happens, whatever stock you have purchased would have been borrowed from your overdraft. So we want to remove the stock. After removing the stock, what is your liquid asset? That is your debtors, your receivables, your cash, bank and whatever. What is that amount you have on top? Okay, so on top I'm removing the stock, right? Now down, I'm saying liquid liability. Again, I'm defining what is liquid liability. Current liability minus bank overdraft again. Because I'm assuming all my stock is funded by a bank overdraft. If not all, sure 75% DP will be there, which is my drawing power. So stocks are fully funded by bank overdraft. So I'm removing my bank overdraft also. So after removing that, I'm saying what is my on demand. If somebody asks me money, how much liquid cash I have, I can pay. Correct? So that is what is the significance. You read the significance, it indicates the extent to which business could pay current liability without relying on the sale of inventory. Correct? Because, sorry, the moment you invest in a stock, you have to wait until it is, for example, when I say stock, it can be in the raw material stage, it can be in the working stock, capital level, work in progress stage, or it can be in the finished goods stage. Right? But whatever stage it is in, it is of no use for me until it is sold and the money is realized. Correct? So that is why when I'm looking at my liquidity position, I should see without stock how I'm able to meet my commitments. My credit card is asking me money, I should be able to pay money because it's one of my stakeholders. I can't just delay. If you keep delaying, it will get the message will get spread in the market that Mulla is stretching their payments, they are not able to make payments. Then nobody will supply it. It will affect the business. So you have to review your liquidity position. And then the third part is working capital. Because you should know what is working capital, I thought it is more, not a ratio actually. I'm just explaining the terminology. Working capital is equal to current assets minus current liability. Now, in the significance you see, I added one more thing. In banking terminology, it is called net working capital. It shows how much of the current assets were funded by long-term funds. That is what I told you now. Banks look at that only. What is your contribution or stake in your current asset from your long-term funds? That is what is more important for the bank. They are not, because bank anyway funding for you for the short-term funds, right? But they want to see what is your stake. If you don't have a stake, why they should come and fund you? That means what you are just taking his money and doing business. But no lender